Welcome to a lesson on the hypotenuse leg congruence theorem. This theorem tells us that if the hypotenuse and leg of one right triangle are congruent to the hypotenuse and leg of another right triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. So if we have two right triangles, and that's important to remember because this only applies to right triangles, and the hypotenuse of one triangle is congruent to the hypotenuse of another, as well as a corresponding leg, then the two right triangles are congruent. If we take a look at the given information, notice that we have side-side angle, which is not enough information to prove two non-right triangles are congruent. So let's take a look at why it is enough information to prove that right triangles are congruent. And it's based upon something you learned in algebra. Do you remember the Pythagorean theorem? Pythagorean theorem tells us that the sum of the squares of the legs of a right triangle is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. Remember, the hypotenuse is the side opposite the right angle, so this would be side C, and the legs would be A and B. So we could call this A and we could call this B. The legs are the two sides of the right triangle that form the right angle. So if we had hypotenuse leg congruence, this would be C, and we could call this leg A or B. Let's go ahead and call it B. Now if we take a look at our equation here, if B squared and C squared would be the same for both of these right triangles, it only makes sense that A squared or A would also be the same. So by using the Pythagorean theorem, we could show that the other leg, this leg here, is congruent to the corresponding leg in the other right triangle. So now if we wanted to, we could use side, 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 or side, angle, side to prove that these two triangles are congruent. However, it's much easier to just use hypotenuse leg congruence rather than using the Pythagorean theorem to find the length of the remaining leg. So this is a nice shortcut to prove that two right triangles are congruent. Thank you for watching.